What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I'm back for another breakdown. So today we are going to continue our Super Bowl coverage and continue with our wide receivers and DBs. But we're going to flip sides now. We're going to watch JSN up against Christian Gonzalez. I think that's one of the biggest matchups in the Super Bowl. So first, we're going to take a look at JSN going up against two really good corners in J.C. Horn and Derek Stingley. See some of the things he did well, some of the things that they could attack him with, and then flip side, look at Gonzo. So let's just jump right into this thing. So first things first. All right, J.C. Horn had a little bit more success against JSN, but he didn't really travel with him. He kind of just played sides. But first things first, big thing you're going to have to do when you're playing against this guy, in the quick game stuff, tackle. You're going to have to tackle in space. He's a pretty strong guy, pretty shifty. J.C. Horn gets him to the ground physically. All right. Another big thing, off coverage. I don't love playing off coverage against him. He's such a good route runner. He's so shifty. He does a really good job of selling the routes, having good moves at the top of the route, makes a lot of plays on the football. Scores his touchdown here against Stingley, right? All-pro corner, first team all-pro. And if we rewind it here, okay, if we watch, when he gets to the top of the route, gives that little rocker step, right, to pause him. So he pauses him, gets his feet to stop here, and that's all he needs to be able to get inside. Stingley jamming with the wrong hand here. That's all he needs to score. Gets the dunk going here, shows the athleticism. There's a little flag, but it doesn't matter, right? Again, off coverage here. He's just a great route runner, right? If you're off, you don't have a chance, all right? So if we go back and look at this route, this is another really good route here. So he sells the route stem, and you'll see ball snapped. He stems the route inside, and then he gets his eyes going inside, right? So he stems it inside to break it back out. And then you'll also look, right? He peeks back at Stingley, and the second Stingley opens his hips, that's when he makes the break. Just an elite route runner. Off coverage, he's going to toy with you. You can't give him that much space. All right, so this is Lassiter, right? Kamari Lassiter. So not one of the, a very good corner, but not one of the elite guys that we're talking about here. But you'll see press coverage. All up in his space, super patient, gets the jam, rides him. And one thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go across the field with him. He does that, almost gets an interception here. All right. So Gonzo is more than capable of going across the field with JSN, right? He ran like 4.43 or something like that, or low 4.4, right? He's an elite speed guy. So again, you're going to have to go across the field with him. J.C. Horn off coverage here. We get a little play action here. All right. And so he goes on this crosser, and Horn does a good job of not giving any ground, just being patient. Okay. He's going underneath. See it and believe it. Go. Runs. Reads quarterback vision. Gets underneath the route. Almost picks it off. All right. So got to be prepared to go across the field with him. And then the other big thing that you got to know is it's almost 100% tendency if he's in the backfield, it's going to be pass, and he is the primary guy that they're going to throw the ball to, right? He's the primary receiver in the concept. So big thing that I think the Patriots need to do if they're going to have Gonzo travel with him, I would not want Gonzo to cover him out of the backfield. I let Marcus Jones or one of the safeties be able to do it just because it's a Super Bowl. So that's a perfect time for tendency breakers. I wouldn't want Gonzo to be down here and they run some kind of run concept where he's got to take on a pulling guard or a fullback. If you go back and you watch the game last year against the Jaguars, they did a really good job of, because Gonzo was traveling with Brian Thomas Jr., and they did a really good job of using that to their advantage, making him have to be in the box to be a run defender, and then him having to take on fullbacks and guards and stuff like that. You don't want to do that. So I would take him off of him in that situation or go zone. All right. So they go zone coverage here, gets a completion. He had a big touchdown in the AFC Championship game out of the backfield, so be prepared for that. All right, again, so like we talked about, off coverage. All right, so this is cover 3 fire zone here. Off coverage, don't really love it, right? He slips and falls here. So big guy, right? 6'2" corner, right? I'd rather you be all up in their space, but again, they're playing zone here. Also, it's play action. If we go back, it's play action. So it sucks up the linebacker, Spillane. So he's late to get in that window. And that's all Baker Mayfield needs to get this completion. And so if we go back to my rationale for this one, is Emeka Egbuka. Similar type receiver, Ohio State receiver. They recruit guys that have similar skill sets, similar size, similar speed or whatever. So this is a good comp to see how Gonzo looked against him, right? Obviously JSN at this stage in his career is in another class, but very similar style of receiver. So zone coverage, off coverage, I think JSN is going to do his thing if they get that, all right? So again, right, off coverage here against Egbuka. So he's in his pedal, right? And that creates the separation that he needs. Gonzo tries to drive on it, but can't get there, makes the tackle. All right, so the off coverage would prefer not to have that, all right? So now we're in press here. If you're going to play off, this is what I would rather do, okay? Press coverage, press bail, right? So bail so that we can be connected and be close to the receiver, use our length and our size here. And Gonzo sticks that foot in the ground, flips the hips, drives on the football. This is elite for a 6'2" corner, right? So really good movement, change of direction here for a guy of this size. Boom, drives that thing, goes and gets it. All right, so now one thing that they might do if you start pressing is using these bunch formations, right? Because it doesn't allow you to press the receivers. But either way, Gonzo is here playing catch technique underneath the concept here. And so he breaks back to the inside. Gonzo drives it. No chance. All right, so really good patience, really good eye discipline here from Christian Gonzalez. Patient. Let the routes distribute. They're out of my space. Now I'm going to drive. I see it and believe it. I'm going to go get it. All right. Really good job there. And so I'm pretty sure they probably saw that and they're like, okay, he's being aggressive and he's driving on these routes, right? So again, they'll use the stacks to it's not a bunch, but it's a stack, and they'll use that to not let you get a good jam and press on things. So they probably went back to this, right? Because he reacted so hard to the inside move. They go inside and they run the whip route. But Gonzo, again, right, for a 6'2" corner. This is elite change of direction here. He breaks to the inside on the route, but he stays patient, sticks that foot in the ground, all over him, right, on a 3rd and short situation. So we'll watch it one more time. It's really good coverage here. Really good technique, really good patience, physical, and the rep physical, all right? And again, we talked about it, have to go across the field with the receivers. Gonzo can do that. 4-3 guy, stays over the top, right? We want to defend the end zone. Then we get underneath it. Once he gets into the end zone, we don't want to get too deep. This is really good understanding and awareness of where he is. Incomplete, all right? So I think this is going to be a huge matchup that could potentially decide the game, right? So Gonzo didn't travel a lot this year if you look at the statistics, but I think that's because they didn't really go up against a lot of really good receivers if you look at the schedule, right? He didn't have to face a lot of really good guys. This is going to be the real test, the first test this season, and I hope when they're in man-to-man coverage, they say, hey, we're putting Gonzo on that guy, all right? So really excited to see this matchup, really excited for the Super Bowl, and I may come out with one more video. If you guys watch this one, you like and you subscribe, and I'll be back with more breakdowns. So as always, you know what it is, Coach Williams, Ball Hawks, we fly, I'm out, peace.